So at the top of page 18, we're going to go over views. So we talked before about how we can look at our data different ways. So in our car inventory, we're looking at a view called All Documents. And so whoever set this up, this is the way they set it up, and this is the order of how they set things up. And we're seeing all of our documents. If we click on this Cars by Make and Body Style, this is just another way of looking at that same data. So now someone decided, you know, it might make more sense if we sort these by make. So I can come down here to Chevrolet, see I've got 20 of them. If I click on make, let's say I'm looking for a truck, I can click on the body style and there I've got 2 trucks. So just another way of looking at it. And it appears as though we have folders, but it's just kind of built into the view, and with the view you can have up to 2 folders. So you can't go 10 deep like a lot of times you see out there on the network file share, but you can go 2 deep for how you're looking at some of your data here in this view. So it's just another way of looking at that same view. If I click here on cars by year, so now it has them by year, and you can see how many cars in parentheses here we have each year. And then we have it by make and model, and you can even come up here and say, I'm looking for a red vehicle. And so now instead of having like 42 or whatever I had, now I'm down to 10. So you can see how it automatically filters even with some of those built-in folders that are nested. So I'm going to go ahead and click back on All Documents. And now we're going to say, okay, someone's come in, they've got something specific that they're looking for, and I want to build my own view or save that view of what that person's looking for. So let's say they're looking for an SUV. So I'm going to go to Body Style and click on the drop down and select SUV. So now it's going to filter out everything else but those SUVs. So all of them are SUVs. Let's say I want it to be 6-cylinder. So I'm going to select 6-cylinder. And let's say I want it to be automatic. So you can kind of continue narrowing this down, and then if they say, oh, well, I want it to be a Cadillac, or I want it to be red, or whatever, you could continue filtering and narrowing this down to whatever it is that you wanted to look at. Then what I can do is, you'll see here you have an option to save this view. So I'm going to click on Save This View. And it says keep the current sorting order and filters, and that's what I want to do. I'm going to keep it personal, so I'm going to change the name of this from All Documents to SUV 6-cylinder auto. Now, unless you are the site owner, the only option you have is to keep it personal. Only the site owner can make it a public view for everyone to see. Otherwise, unless you're the site owner, it's a personal one and you're the only one who can see it. And if it's a view you think others want to have, you'll have to go to that site owner and request that the site owner recreate that view, and they can then save it for everyone. So we'll go ahead and click on Save. And so now I have a view called SUV 6-cylinder auto. But I don't really need this SUV column, I don't need the engine column, I don't need the automatic column, because I know all the vehicles in this view have that. So I may want to go and edit that view. So in order to edit it, I'll go up to Library, and I've got an option here to modify view. So here you can see it's got the view name, so if I want to change the name, I can change the name here. And I can say, I don't really care who modified it, so I could uncheck that. I don't need to know the engine size because they're all 6-cylinder. I don't need to know the body style because they're all SUV. I don't need to know the transmission because they're all automatic. That was built into it. So I can uncheck all of these boxes. And why they've got price last, I don't understand. I want that to be my first column. So I'm going to click on the 13 and make it 1. And it will automatically renumber everything else. So if I want some of these other things to be in a different order, I can come in here and just reorder things until I get it exactly how I want. If there's some other field down here that's not checked and I want to include it, I can come down and check any of these other boxes, and those will become new columns in that view. It has, if I want to sort, I never put really a sort on this. So maybe I want to sort by price. So I'm going to go to price. I want to show items in ascending order, so the cheapest first. If I want a secondary sort for a tie, I could select that from here. I've already put my filters on before I created it, but I could come in here and do it through the menu if I chose to. The tabular view is how I got some of those other views to look like it had two folders. So that's into the tabular view. And so we've got some other things. I'm not going to go into all of these, but you can play with some of those on your own. And I'll go ahead and click on OK. So now you see I've got the price in the first column, I've got the make, and I've gotten rid of some of those other columns that I didn't need because all of these are SUV 6-cylinder auto. If I click on all documents, it takes me back to that default view. If I want this one, I just simply click on it, brings it right back. So if the person who was searching for this found their vehicle, purchased it, I'm done with it, the only way to delete that view is basically to edit it. So we'll go back up to library, modify the view, and then we have an option here to delete. And OK, and that will delete the view. Any questions on views?
Okay, so yeah, just one. So you went back into modify to delete that. It must not be in the right mode. Where do I need to click to get back into that modify? Click on my SUV search.
Right. Yeah, you have to be.
Okay, so be in the one that you're deleting.
Right.
Okay.
That'll be real important, or you could end up deleting the wrong view. So you have to make sure you're in that view you want to delete first.
Thanks for watching. For more tech training videos, visit www.bgsu.edu/tech training or subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out all of our other social media.